Happy Saturday to all of you. It is New York Mets baseball time once again as the Mets try to avoid their first three-game losing streak of the season and try to figure out how they can somehow salvage this Subway Series against the New York Yankees after basically not even showing up for last night's game. Let's hope that this day game after the night game brings them back somewhat revitalized and ready to go. And so I want to welcome each and every one of you. As you come on in, whether you're watching live or on replay, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We are MetropoliFins. We're YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel, on the way to 500 subscribers. Next stop is going to be 300. Trying to get to 500 by the All-Star break. My name is Craig. I hope you are doing well today. I hope you are doing better today than the Mets did last night. That is for sure. So we're excited to be back at it here, and hopefully this Mets team will show up and be a little more inspired, a little more energy, a lot more life in the bats, because I would just say over the last 4 games or so, the Mets bats as a team have been rather poor. Of course, there have been some decent individual performances. Of course, you go back a handful of games, Brett Baty had the 2 home runs. You had 2 hits for Brandon Nimmo last night. You had the 3 walks for Juan Soto. So we're seeing some individual performances, but we're not seeing the complete offensive output that we want to be seeing from this team. And so we're going to see if on a Saturday afternoon in Yankee Stadium, this bandbox, if the Mets can finally put together just a solid offensive output. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I was certainly expecting, even by this point in time in the season, the Mets to have a lot more games where they're scoring 6, 7, 8 runs than what they have been doing. And I understand that the injuries have certainly impacted this team, so it will be interesting to see if this can continue going forward. So we're going to just kind of see how everything works out with this. Let me just give you the breakdown of the lineups. The game is set to start here in just a few minutes. This is the day game after the night game, so you're gonna have some of your subs are going to be playing in here today and setting up for the full game tomorrow. So tomorrow is a night game after a day game, so everyone will get like some extra rest. But leading off is going to be Lindor at short, followed by Juan Soto in right. Pete Alonso playing first. Cleanup hitter today is going to be Brandon Nimmo. Swaggy Marky V will be hitting 5th. Jeff McNeil hitting 6th. Luis Torrens catching, hitting 7th. Brett Baty, third base, hitting 8th. And Tyrone Taylor is in center and batting 9th. That's going to make your Mets bench today to be Luis Angel Acuna, Francisco Alvarez, Azokar, and Starling Marte. So that's what we have. Of course, the Mets absolutely ran the Subway Series last year with a 4-game sweep. That is not going to be the case this year. And this team is definitely struggling to just find its groove right now. I think that would be the simplest way that I would say it, is that they're not playing bad. Obviously, if you look at the overall record, they're certainly not playing bad, but they are also not playing to the level that we would be hoping and expecting them to play to at this point in time in the season. So, and there are definitely some cracks in the starting pitching, especially Tyler McGill. He is struggling to be outputting at the level that we might want to see him producing, especially after a really good April. He's now had 3 bad starts in a row in May, which again is concerning in terms of what you're expecting to see from the starting pitching staff. So we will see what the Mets come out with here today. Excited to have all of you here. And this is the game. Mets have to have this game. Clark Schmidt is pitching today. In 5 starts this season, he's 1-1 with a 4.72 ERA. I do believe he was hurt for a little bit of the season today. But he is back. I'm just going to do a quick little check. But I think with that few of a start, I do believe he has missed out on some games. Let me just look at his full game log. Yeah, he was hurt to start the season. So his first start was April 16th. So he's been given up multiple earned runs every game except for April 27th against Toronto. His first two starts of the season against Kansas City and at Cleveland were probably his worst two starts, though definitely. He gave up 3 runs last week in a start against the Seattle Mariners. There's a chance, but this Mets team feels like either they're going to score a lot in the first and second inning, or they're not going to score until like the 6th or 7th inning. And we need to get this. We need to not be constantly battling back, and we need to give our pitchers a lot more margin for error. Pitching today for the Mets will be Griffin Canning. Of course, he's off to a phenomenal start, but how much longer can he sustain a phenomenal start? I mean, hopefully all season, but without a proven track record, I'm definitely taking everything from Griffin Canning on a game-by-game basis. We are all set for the first pitch. Looks like a nice sunny day in New York, in the Bronx. First pitch to Lindor is a ball on the outside corner, or ball on the outside part of the plate. So it's going to be 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be popped up by Lindor, maybe just in foul territory. Just comes back into fair territory. It's going to be 1 out in the top of the first. So, and here comes the man of the weekend, Juan Soto. Here, everyone gets to boo who didn't get to boo him last night. They all get to boo him again tonight. Soto seemed unaffected by it. It was hard for him to even get a pitch to hit. That was all right. First pitch to Soto's a strike. No ball, 1 strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And there's called strike. No balls, 2 strikes. So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Juan Soto at the plate. That's inside to Soto. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's inside as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Soto. All right, here's the 2-2 pitch to Soto. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Everybody's very happy of the Yankee fans. There's 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. That was a good pitch. That was a really good pitch. Started over the plate, worked its way outside. Pete Alonso coming to the plate now. First pitch is a strike. No balls. 1 strike to Pete Alonso here. Pete hits it to the shortstop. Bobbled. Recovered. Throws out to first, and the Mets are going to be retired here in the top of the first inning. We're going to go to the bottom of first. It's 0-0, and the Mets' first inning futilities continue. A lot of Mets fans are concerned with the Mets leaving runners on base. I'm not as concerned about that. I'm more concerned with the fact that the Mets are not scoring runs in the first and second inning at anywhere near the pace that this team should be scoring runs in the first and second inning. It feels like it just takes them 4 or 5 innings to get settled into the game as hitters, and that's my much bigger concern, is that even when they get a runner on or 2 runners on, the next guy just seems to have a poor approach at the plate, and it varies from guy to guy. and game to game. And so most Mets fans are looking at the results. I'm looking at the approach, and the approach that the Mets hitters are taking is very not unified. And so I would like to see this team really figure out how to grind out multiple runs in the first and second inning on a regular basis. Because if your pitcher is on for the day, it's just going to give them more confidence knowing that they have a buffer and a margin. And if your pitcher is not on, it takes the pressure off to say, hey, look, we know that we can score runs. But this consistently going 4, 5, 6 innings without even scoring a run. Yesterday, 4 innings. It wasn't until the 4th inning that the Mets even got a hit. It's unacceptable for this lineup. And it comes down to approach, in my opinion, that we're just not approaching some of these good starting pitchers. And the Mets have been on a run of facing a fair amount of really good starting pitchers. And I understand that. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I feel like we're just it just takes too long to settle in to the game. So while all the other Mets fans are talking about leaving runners in scoring position, I'm just more concerned with just not having good plate approaches, not doing the things that they need to do to put themselves in position to have success on a consistent basis. So it'd be interesting to know, what is your take on the matter? Are you guys as concerned as the runners in scoring position, or you have other concerns? I'm still trying to diagnose the offense in general as to what it is. I also just tend to be a fan of leaving the lineup the same. And Ben Rice leads off, and he's going to fly out pretty deep center field. It's going to be a fly out nonetheless here. 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Darren, how's it going? Let's go Mets, baby. Let's go more than we went yesterday. All rise for Aaron Judge. 1 out. Oh, first pitch fastball gets past him. Good first pitch by Griffin Canning. So, Darren, what do you think? We're trying to diagnose the Mets' offensive problems right now. I think the symptom is leaving runners on base, but I don't think that's the actual problem. I think the problem is a lot of purposeless at bats. No balls, 2 strikes to Judge. So I just think the Mets' overall batting approach, I think there's too much instability in the lineup. So fly out towards Juan Soto on right. He makes the catch. So there you go. Anytime you get Judge out, that's a good at bat. Yeah, but why? I think everybody agrees the Mets offense is anemic, but I'm trying to pin down why. So my theory is this. You've got too many guys moving in and out of the lineup, too worried about, if I don't perform well, am I going to be pulled out of the lineup for the next day? I want the Mets to pick their starting 9 and roll with them in 70 or 80% of the games. So we've been talking about lineup things. I think you do 0 service to Beatty. He comes up, he hits like crazy. Then he sits in back-to-back games with a day off in the middle. This is Beatty's first start in 4 days, and you just brought him up after hitting 4 home runs in his last 7 games, and he sits 3 days in a row. I think that the problem is you got too many guys worried about whether or not they're going to be in the lineup the next day, so then they're all stressing and overdoing. Now, I'm fine with things like sitting Alvarez today, day game after night game. That makes sense. But you need to put the best 9 hitters in the lineup on a consistent basis and let them gel. I mean, was the Braves lineup a couple of years ago that they had the same starting lineup in like 100 out of 162 games or something like that? Like, exact same. Everybody knew where they were hitting. Everybody knew what their job was. Everybody got familiar with the situations that they were in. And I think the lack of consistency is in terms of the lineup itself is definitely hurting. That's a ball inside to Bellinger. 3 balls, 2 strikes here, bottom of the first. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Got him to swing at ball 4. I didn't like that pitch selection, but I'm going at it. So there's a 1-2-3 in. So we are going to go to the top of the second. We'll consider that a win. It's already better than last night. Yep. I Darren, I agree with you 100%. Passive when they need to be aggressive, aggressive when they need to be patient, and there's no stability in line. Was it last night? I forget what it was. Like these guys are stressing. Like you can tell, especially some of these younger guys. Um, now Vientos is settled in again. But it's like, where is he going to be every single day? Where is he going to be? Why is Vientos batting in the 5-hole today? He was the 4-hole yesterday. He did fine. Leave him there. Nimmo was in the 5-hole yesterday. Leave him there. This idea, like switch them back and forth. No, like let these guys settle in, know their roles. I think it's just being too cute. It's the over analyticsness of baseball. This is the part of baseball that frustrates me. Word of the day is gel. Well, thank you, Sharon. How are you doing today, Sharon? Hope you are doing well. And I just feel like, look, the future. Yankees got green light. Get to the bullpen. We have to. We have to get in the bullpen early today. I agree with that. Soundwave, how are you guys doing? Hopefully, you are all doing better today than the Mets did yesterday. Um, again, Lindor, Soto, Alonso, other than like one game, that's the top 3. What, even good or bad, and I understand they're more proven players than the rest of this lineup, but good or bad, it's the same lineup every day. Lindor doesn't have to show up to the ballpark wondering, am I going to be leadoff today? Am I going to be in the 2-hole? But everything else, it's just way too fancy pants. It's way too much stuff. You got a bunch of guys who are hitting right just under 250, right? Let me just give you some of the batting averages here. And I'm not slamming this. Right around 250 or just under 250, the way modern baseball is. You got Nimmo hitting 233, Vientos 245, McNeil 244, Torrens 247, Beatty 230, Tyrone Taylor 231. And then you got a couple guys just over 250 here. You got Acuna 264, Alvarez 269. But yeah, why is Acuna out of the lineup today? There's zero reason. Like zero reason for Acuna to be out of the lineup today. Play him. He's like your 4th best hitter on this team by batting average. He's struggling right now. That's fine. Let him be in there. Let him play. Let him learn how to struggle through. I just don't get it. Tyrone Taylor is a great defensive replacement, but you don't need to start him unless, like, just start McNeil in center. Beatty, Lindor, Acuna, Alonso is by far your best defensive alignment that you can have. Vientos is the best DH that you have on this team, unless you're going to give Pete a day off. And that's fine. Like, but let Vientos be your permanent team. I just don't. It's too cute. Grounder down to third. Nimmo is going to be thrown out here at first base. It's just time. Pick your top 9. You would have missed it? Please watch the language, Justin. Anthony, how's it going? Like, it is. And when you're a young guy and you're worried, if I go 0 for 3 today, I might not be in the lineup tomorrow, it just puts more and more pressure on. And you're not putting that pressure on the top 3 in the lineup. Hey, no, you're good. You're good, Justin. No worries. No worries. I've got lots of grace. I got lots of grace as long as people aren't intentionally doing that. Wow, they called that a swing there. No balls and 2 strikes on Vientos. And thank you. Trying to make it fun here today, and hopefully the Mets will bring something. But like I'm just looking at it from a broader perspective. And again, I don't throw shade on any Major League Baseball player, no matter what. Like to get there and do that. But as a whole, the reason you have Acuna, Vientos, and Beatty on this team and not playing in AAA is because you see the potential for them to be everyday major leaguers. Vientos chases. And this whole idea, like, if they'd all be playing every day in AAA, then let's play them every day in the majors. Let them work through all this stuff. Let them work through the booze. Let them work through these things. Like, I want all these guys playing in every single game against the Yankees. Let them learn how to play in the most hostile of environments that they're going to play in. Like, you're going to need this in the playoffs. That's rip foul down the first baseline by McNeil. And look, if you want to disagree with me on who you think the best nine are, that's fine. And if Mendoza wants to disagree with me, that's fine. But it's way too cute. It's way too much. And I think part of the lineup struggles is it's too many people not knowing what the role is on the team. And look, as individuals, of course, I want them to be ready to do whatever the team needs on any given day. And that's an easy ground out. And the Mets' anemic offense continues. It's frustrating, though, because it's like, look, I know we all know the talent is here. We're going to go to the bottom of the second. It's nothing. Yeah, well, it is. But think about it. Brett Baty is absolutely on fire, right? Brett Baty, he becomes your top hitter. And Brett Baty has not started a game since when? Wednesday? No, Tuesday? Is that what it is? Hold on. They had Thursday off. He didn't start Wednesday. The last game Brett Baty started was Tuesday because he didn't start Wednesday. They had Thursday off. He had Friday night off. It's Saturday. How in the world do you take one of the hottest hitters in the majors over like the previous 10 days and then say, like, okay, but you're going to just ride the bench for 3 days straight? Look, if you're on fire, you can hit anybody. So let him hit anybody. And I just like, I this is my frustration. Like, a lot of you guys, I know a lot of Mets fans, like, we're done with Baty. We're done with Baty. Can we just play him every day for a season? 6 days a week for a season? Can we just do that? And let's find out what you actually have in him. None of the other young guys who are coming up on other teams get played like this. It's crazy. I just don't understand. Let's go Mets, baby. How you doing, Travis? Are you streaming today too? I saw you were on last night. I just don't understand why you wouldn't just say, look, this is where it's at. And look, is like Starling Marte a great pinch hitter? Absolutely. He's even a pinch runner in certain circumstances, right? You can do that. But do I want Starling Marte with his 192 batting average to be the guy that we put in the lineup as the designated hitter, as the guy we're putting in? Like, to be the hitter? The Yankees say they're hitting Ben Rice as their designated hitter. He has a 252 average on the season. That's like 60 points higher than Starling Marte. I don't want my designated hitter to be someone who's going to be making an out 85% of the time. I like what Marte brings to the team in terms of veteran leadership. Same way I like what Winker brings to the team. But do we need to be playing matchups consistently? No. You need to play your best players. And you got to play them consistently. And I just think it's just too cute over managing. It's too analytics based. Look, I have no problem saying this one guy hits 500 career lifetime against this one pitcher. We're going to make him in. But then make the other 8 guys be your starters, right? You're going to sit Alvarez today? That's fine. Sit Alvarez today. It's the day game after the night game. But why is Acuna on the bench? The kid is young. He's got energy. He's got life. He's got the third. Is Acuna the third highest batting average on our team right now? Let's see. Alonso's 301, Lindor's 293. I mean, you can say a Zokar, but he hasn't had anywhere near the reps. Yeah, so you're taking Alvarez in his 269 batting average out and Acuna in his 264 batting average out of the lineup. Why? So you can play Tyrone Taylor in his 231 batting average? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I'll take the risk. If you don't want to put McNeil in center or Nimmo, you want to just put Acuna in center. Let him learn how to play center field in Yankee Stadium. It's a smaller outfield than other outfields anyway. I don't know. I'm just, from a broad human psychology, this is my old school old school baseball fan view. I'm just this is the over analyticsness of modern baseball. Is it just throws human psychology completely out the window. That's grounded to Lindor at short. Nice backhand by Lindor. And Goldschmidt is retired. That's 4 up and 4 down. So I just I understand the point of analytics, but running a team purely by analytics, it's just too much. And it's just got to be so frustrating to all these guys. Just it has to be. Thank you, Rels. And look, I understand we're all going to disagree on player personnel. You know, some of you guys want Starling Marte on the teams. I'd prefer to not. Some of you guys want Beatty off the team. I prefer to have. That's fine. We don't have to see eye to eye on that. But this is it's just absolutely insane that it's not 8 out of the 9 guys should be the same every single day. And on a day where you're sitting Alvarez, there's zero reason you should be sitting Acuna. Yes, exactly. Anthony, I think the modern analytics is about winning today's game. And I think old school baseball is about winning the season. I think that's a great comparison. And that's just so here's the thing, right? So let's just say, pick any player who's on the let's say this is all hypothetical here. Exactly. I'm fine with a Marte or a Winker in the dugout. Okay, so let's do this. Let's say Marte is hitting 473 career against Fried. Okay. I'm just doing this as a theoretical. This is not real. Okay. Theoretical. Okay. Let's say theoretically Marte's hitting 473 against Fried. The analytics says play it. That's fine. Play Marte tomorrow. Play him tomorrow. But then the other 8 need to be your top 8. So then tomorrow, so against Fried, play Marte plus your top 8. Okay? That's it. That's the compromise that I want with analytics. Or you know what I'm saying? And again, Mendoza might disagree with me who the top 8 are, or you might disagree. But you just do that, and then you slot Marte in whatever spot he's replacing for the day. And then everybody else hits in the same spot. So then you just say, right? We know it's Lindor, Soto, Alonso. Okay? When Soto sat the other day, they just moved somebody into Soto's spot. They didn't move Lindor around. They didn't move Alonso around. You didn't mess up the top 3. So on that day, let's say Soto comes out, if Tyrone Taylor's going to play for Juan Soto on that day, you just put Tyrone Taylor in the 2-hole for that day. And your 4 bench guys, they just sub in wherever the person is that they're playing. And then I just think it's too much. It's too chaos. Well, Rels, the obsession with young players is if you're not going to play them every day, keep them in AAA. That's the obsession. Barehanded play by Beatty, a great play to get Volpe at first base. I think that this is the problem that you have with evaluating young talent is I got to see how these guys are going to play every single day. If I'm a coach, right? So if you look, you can take a Marte, a Winker, those guys. They don't have to play every day. They're professionals. You know what they're going to bring you. There's right? I'm not questioning what is Marte going to bring to the table. I know who Marte is. If you don't if Acuna's not playing every day, and by every day I mean 6 days a week. Well, yeah, exactly. But I wouldn't trade you. Who has higher upside? Who has a higher ceiling? Marte or Acuna? Like today, who has the higher upside? If they're good enough to be in the majors, the young guys need to be playing on a regular basis. You have to find out who these young guys are, because the worst thing you can do that I think the Mets have done. Well, no, you don't. You have to carry the amount of guys in the roster. We have 13 guys. It's not that many. Okay, and of the 13, okay, So it's really only two. You have two guys that are subbing in. That's why I don't understand why this lineup has to be. Yeah, exactly. Vientos is not making that barehanded play, Justin. So look, this is what you have. You've got Alvarez, Torrens. Just look at them as they're one player, right? Alvarez is not good enough offensively to be designated hitter in this lineup at the same time Torrens is playing. They're one player. Your catcher. Okay? So you got 13 position players on this roster. Okay, but it's really just so then let's count it down to 12 because Alvarez and Torrens is one. Okay, then you've got Azokar, who is just your emergency outfielder. There's zero reason Azokar should ever be playing except for a defensive replacement or an injury replacement. Okay? So then you're really only talking 11 guys. So of the 11, okay, what I would want the Mets to do is pick the best 9. Now, your best 9 and my best 9, we might disagree, and Carlos Mendoza might disagree with both of us. Luis Torrens is up now, by the way. Okay. So we can disagree on who it is, but you're really only trying to rotate playing time for 2 guys. Marte is great in pinch hitter, pinch runner. Right? Pinch hitter, pinch runner. That's where Marte slots in. And you only need one of those guys on the roster. Now, Zokar also can be a pinch runner there, but that's where Marte is. Okay. And then you have the center field, second base, third base, DH rotation. This is a lot simpler, right? So you have 5 guys for 4 positions. This is what you like. This is the reality of it, of the current. And again, you can say, well, we should bring this guy out. I'm just saying, based on the current roster construct. Brett Beatty is up. No balls, 1 strike to Beatty here. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And in this, you have Taylor, McNeil, Acuna, Beatty, Vientos. That's it. It's really these 5 guys are battling for playing time. Offensively, the best 4, in my opinion. Now you can disagree. That's fine. I'm not arguing for the best 4. But offensively, the best 4, in my opinion, are McNeil, Acuna, Beatty, Vientos. There's a swing and a miss for Beatty. It's not. D-Rails. D-Rails. You have to remember, Mendoza has sat a red-hot Beatty for 3 days. It's not what you do. And then he comes in after not hitting. You had 1 pinch hit appearance last night. This is the problem. Okay? And then defensively, the best 4, and it's really the best 3 is what you need here. Okay? Clearly, in my opinion here, it's Taylor, Acuna, Beatty. That's a soft little lineup. And the Mets have got 9 up and 9 down. By the way, Vientos struck out today too, Rel. So we're commercial break. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning here. Okay. So then what I want to do is I want to look at. Thank you. Please hit that like, hit that subscriber on our way to 500. So what I'd want to do is who has the highest ceiling. All I care about is ceilings. I'm playing ceiling games here. Who has the highest ceiling? Power hitter ceiling. This is very easy. Who has the highest power hitter ceiling? It's Vientos. Make him your DH permanently. Lock him in as the DH. Okay? Power hitter ceiling. Vientos has the highest ceiling. He's not there. He's not in a groove. But again, why do we keep moving him around? He did great in the 4-hole yesterday. Nemo did great in the 5-hole. Why did we switch him today? Just for lefty right matchups? It's silly. Okay, don't do that. Okay, who has speed and second base defense ceiling? That's easy. You guys all know this one. It's Acuna. Make him your second baseman. Very simple. Okay. Who has your third base defense ceiling? This is very simple. Beatty equals your third baseman. You don't care if Beatty in the 8-hole hits 227. That's fine. That's better than a lot of 8-holes. It's perfectly fine. All right. So then, who is the better defender outfielder of these 5 that we're talking about? Easy. Taylor. Offense outfielder? Easy. McNeil. Done. And then all those guys can shift around a little bit from time to time if you need it. If you need to give Acuna a day off, and you can play McNeil in second and do that. But this is I think we've overcomplicated. Vito, how's it going? Congrats on the win yesterday for the Yankees. Tell you what, this Mets team, this offense needs to be fixed. I do think all this stuff, the Mets offensive struggles, is definitely going to give a clear opportunity for Ryan Mauricio to make this team. I also think it shows the need for the Mets to get a real center fielder, too. DJ LeMahieu is now up for the Yankees. First pitch, strike on the outside corner. This is hit out to right field, and that's a home run. 1-0 Yankees. In his 5th at-bat of the season, DJ LeMahieu hits a home run. Yankees are up 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. That is the first hit of the ball game for either team. First hit of the ball game is a home run. Got it over that short right field porch. Yeah, that's probably not a home run in that's probably a fly out at Citi Field. This ballpark is such a joke in right field. Vivas lines out to Lindor at shortstop here. That's such a weak swing that LeMahieu put on that. I mean, that's so crazy. That's so crazy that's a home run. What a joke of a ball this is in right field. That's so crazy. First pitch is a strike by Ben Rice. No balls, 1 strike. So it's I give this team. I kind of want to know what Mauricio's return date is, or potential return date. I think that there's a chance, definitely, that. Oh, let's see. Ooh, interesting. Ronnie Mauricio is activated in AAA as of today. This is in the last hour, guys. So check this out. And if he can, I don't want to rush him back by any means, but if he can provide some offense, and I hope that the Mets just play him in center field. There's a 2-out single up the middle by Ben Rice. And now we get to face Aaron Judge with a runner on, which is the one thing you don't want to be doing. Yeah, it's definitely it's just definitely frustrating because you see the talent and you see the win total, but it does, I don't know, in a certain way, it does kind of feel like the Mets start as a little bit of a fool's gold. And the good news is it's giving them time to get out of the funk, and they've never gotten too much into a funk that they haven't been able to recover. And the Braves were horrible to start the season. The Phillies have not been significantly better over recent weeks, so the Mets still have a lead. But it does kind of feel, I don't know, to me, it doesn't feel like the Mets are a top 3 team in baseball right now. I mean, they're definitely a top 10 team, but they just don't have, they're reliant on a bunch of pitchers who don't have the pedigree of being top tier starters to keep pitching well. They do have the ability to break out. It's just that they're kind of in an offensive funk from top to bottom. Now, I did say at the end of the stream last night, and I still stand by this. How they battled. Which part do you disagree with, Rels? You think that they're not a top 3 team, or it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Aaron Judge here? Let me know which part you disagree with. Sometimes I talk faster than I can keep up with on that. And again, it's not that individual performances can't. Or you disagree with the 9th inning? The fact that the Mets got the Yankees closer to come in and they battled in the 9th inning is actually really important in their approach. In other words, they're not mentally giving up on games just because they're losing big. They're making work. There's a strikeout of Aaron Judge by Griffin Canning. So it is 1-0 for the Yankees, but Griffin Canning struck out Aaron Judge, so you can add that to his resume. So how they played in the 9th inning to in a 6-1 game force the Yankees to bring in the closer, that's a really good sign. There are a lot of teams that don't have a shot at that. The Mets camaraderie on the road. Yeah. That's an interesting thing too. Like, is the clubhouse good? It's one of those things where winning covers a multitude of ills in the clubhouse. And I think this team has won enough. Obviously, like record wise, I mean, I don't know exactly where the record is. Let me see. I haven't checked the standings in the last couple of days. But let's just look at the overall standings here in baseball. So the Mets have the second best record in the National League. We're only 1 game. Listen, we're 1 game behind the Dodgers. In our last 10, the Mets are 6-4. The Dodgers are 5-5. So if you told me over the last 10 games the Mets have a better record than the Dodgers, I wouldn't believe you because it doesn't feel that way. But it's actually true. The Mets have the 3rd best record in baseball. But does it just not feel like it just doesn't feel like they're the 3rd best team in baseball right now? I don't know. That's just my take on it. The best record in baseball continues to be the Tigers. They're 30-15, followed by the Dodgers, who are 29-16, followed by the Mets, who are 28-17. But it just doesn't feel like this is the 3rd best team in baseball. And I mean, if the Yankees win this series, I don't think there's any way. Mets are due again. We'll see. How's it going, KC? Hope you are doing well today. All right, second time through the order for the Mets. You don't think they're fool's gold? Gotcha. Okay, so my argument for the fool's gold is I'm not a believer in the pitching. That's where the fool's gold part. Yeah, I know. Twins are 12 in a row. Yeah, that's fine. You guys can disagree. Like that's fine. I'm not. I just feel like the only reason the Mets have the record they do, or the primary, maybe not the only reason, the primary reason has been the stellar pitching. And I just can't say that I'm convinced that McGill can keep it up. I'm not convinced yet that Griffin Canning can keep it up. I'm not convinced that our bullpen can keep it up. I can be proven wrong. I just feel like in any game where the Mets starter gives up 4 runs, I feel like we're going to have trouble winning. If the starter gives up 4 runs, it's just hard. And so maybe that's what it is I just don't believe in the pitching. So McGill yesterday should have been blasting that fastball in a whole lot more. We're going to bring Rally Pig out. Rally Pig hasn't been out yet today. Lindor did walk. Soto is at the plate. So, yep, 100% agree with that, Darren. And he had a good fastball yesterday. Like, who cares if they hit home runs against your fastball? Challenge them. And McGill's off-speed stuff plays off of being ahead of the count. Soto rips that one out to right field, and that's going to be another hit. Mets have 3 runners on in this. Right. Well, so Redman, let's see what we can do. Oh, Rels, I'm not just talking about recent. Like, look at Tyler McGill's last 3 starts. It's bad. And I love, you guys know I love Tyler McGill, but if you look at Tyler McGill, look at his stats the last 3 starts. It's like Pete Alonso's up now. Alonso, way too big of a swing there. And of course, you got like everybody like McGill needs to leave this. No, look, it's 3 bad starts. It doesn't mean he loses. So listen, I'm just saying as a whole, like Mets fans go from like great to like overreacting the other way too quick. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying when I start to see cracks, McGill has given up 4 earned runs and pitched 5 innings or less. That's ripped out to left field for a base hit. Lindor is going to come around third, and he is going to tie the game. It's going to be 1-1. So, well, it's not what I'm just telling you what the stats say. You're not concerned about McGill at all, Rels? Like, I like McGill, but I'm like 3 starts in a row of 5 innings or less and 4 earned runs is not good. Like that's not sustainable. Now the good news is Mets have starting pitchers coming back soon, but so let's see if the Mets can string together more than 1 run an inning. Don't focus on the runners in scoring position. Focus on their approach with runners on base Saturday. That's, I think, much better here. By the way, Rally Pig having a decent couple game stretch here. 1 for 1 with 1 run scored. Brendan Nimmo at the plate here. By the way, that hit by Alonso, I believe, is the first hit of the game for the Mets. No, second hit of the game. The Soto had one too. Yeah, Soto and Alonso got the first 2 hits of the game by the Mets. Redman, remember, McGill did not come into spring training as one of the top 5 starters. He's in this spot. He got this spot because of injury. So Blackburn, I think, is due back really soon. And I think Montas is still on pace to be back at the end of the month. So I think long term, I think McGill might be better suited as a bullpen arm long term. There's a foul ball down the first baseline by Nimmo. That's just my guess. I think McGill as a long reliever, kind of that Paul Blackburn role. So all right, here's a 1-2 pitch coming up to Brandon Nimmo. There's a step off. We got to engage the hitter warning. All right, 1-2 pitch coming up again here. Try this again to Brandon Nimmo. Mets have runners on first and second. Nobody out. 1 run in. 1-1 game. Top of the 4th. Oof. Called strike 3. That looked like a ball, but I don't blame you, Nimmo. Let's see. Is that actually over? Yeah, that was definitely inside. No. Yeah, that was inside 100%. That's a bad. Challenge. Soto steals third without a throw. Pete does not steal, I don't believe. It's not a double steal. Soto just did a straight steal of third base. Vientos at the plate now. And that was way inside, too. That should be 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah. Well, I mean, Pete will steal some bases under certain circumstances. I think Soto just went on his own that time. I don't think that was a called steal. Hitting the out to deep left field. Dominguez makes the catch. Soto is going to be able to score. Pete Alonso's moving to second, so that stolen base by Soto pays off big time. So that was a good job. Vientos just missed that, guys. That was about 5 to 10 feet from being a home run. I mean, he gave it a drive. He got it just enough inside, but nonetheless, the Mets are going to take the lead here on the top of the 4th inning. So there's a crooked number. I'm happy to see that. Jeff McNeil is up now. 1 ball, no strikes. Rally Pig gets 2 runs. All right, so that stat. Hold on. The Mets have gone 32 consecutive innings without scoring multiple runs. And I would suppose to you that that's been a much bigger problem for the Mets rather than hitting with runners in scoring position is not putting up crooked numbers when they have the chance. All right. Let's go. Baby. So, again, did the Orioles fire their manager? Good. He needs to be fired. It's just a horrible start for the Orioles. They need to do something before the season is completely lost. I mean, 15-28 for that roster. I mean, if you look at the talent on that Orioles roster and you say like they're 13 games below 500, you wonder like how is that possible? Oh yeah, I mean, I'm still confident in the team. I'm just saying I personally don't think that they're playing like a top 3 team right now. It doesn't mean they're not a top 3 team. The record says they are. 3 balls, 1 strike. Yeah. Walk away for a few minutes, and the Mets scored twice, 2-1. But I like their approach this inning, right? And that's a walk by McNeil. So one of the things we were talking about, this was way back at the beginning here. Who said it? Because it was Darren. This is what we were talking about at the very beginning. The Mets are passive when they need to be aggressive and aggressive when they need to be patient. So, and what we're seeing this inning is a right combination of both small ball and patience at the plate, but then also taking advantage of opportunities. So even though it wasn't a home run by Vientos, he did what he needed to do in driving the ball deep left field. Soto got from second to third to put himself at third base with less than 2 outs, so he could score on a sacrifice fly. So the Yankees average about 6 runs a game. Certainly, for sure. Yeah, and I'm not looking at wins and losses, Wells. I'm looking at just how they're playing, how they're approaching things. That's all. Just as a whole, it feels like their approach, especially the first time through the batting order, has been just off. That's outside. Just Torrens at the plate, 1 ball, no strikes. So I have zero worries or concerns about this team in the macro. It's just in the micro, in the moment. I think that Alonso gets back on a pickoff play. So that was a good play, good idea by the Yankees there. I mean, they almost got him though. They almost got him. 1-0 count to Torrens. That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Tomorrow night's game is going to be David Peterson versus Max Fried. I'm hoping to be with you guys for the whole game. I just got to probably head over to the in-laws so I can actually see ESPN for it. That's a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, how Schmidt is pitching right now, this is 3-1, reminds me a lot of McGill yesterday. He just keeps nibbling instead of just going after the hitters. If you remember, McGill, wasn't perfect, but he had a pretty decent start. Torrens just swings at ball 4 there. That was the same pitch he's been taking. I don't know why he swung at that. 3 balls and 2 strikes now here. Yeah, he knows that he shouldn't have swung at that. All right, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 4th. Mets have 2 runs in. We'll see what Torrens can do if he can get the ball in play here. That's inside for a walk. Good at bat by Torrens, even though I had the 1 bad swing in there to work that walk. If Baby home running is your respect. So Keith Hernandez says he would be sitting like first pitch fastball, looking for something to drive here. He swings. It's deep. Oh, he just missed it. He got it out to the warning track. He went for it. It was a good pitch. He just missed it. I mean, that was 5 to 10 feet short of a home run. So he tried derails. He won't gain your respect, I guess, but that was a good swing. I mean, Keith Hernandez was right. Be looking for a first pitch fastball, something to drive, and Beatty did. Drove just didn't quite get enough. So, but the Mets still scored 2 runs there. So we're going to go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It is 2-1. Mets take the lead. Going to the bottom of the fourth. Griffin Canning still pitching well. Really, the only major mistake, and it wasn't even that horrible of a pitch or that great of a swing, but was DJ LeMahieu's home run. I want to see if I can tell. I thought that Beatty swing looked really good. Yeah, everything about that looked good. He must have just gotten under it just a little bit. All right. Well, let's do a scoreboard update. We'll run through. I'm not even sure which games are. How many games are going on right now? I don't know if it's a lot. Yeah, there's only we are the only game live right now. We're the only live game. White Sox Cubs is getting ready to start. Um, we'll run over yesterday's scores really quick because I don't know if we ever did that. So we'll do yesterday's scores one last time in case you haven't gotten that far like me. I didn't get to see all the final scores of yesterday. All right, so yesterday's scoreboard. The Cardinals beat the Royals 10-3. The Cubs beat the White Sox 13-3. Reds over the Guardians 5-4. Phillies over the Pirates 8-4. Nationals beat the Orioles 4-3. Yankees, of course, beat the Mets 6-2. Tigers over the Blue Jays 5-4. Braves over the Red Sox 4-2. That actually brings the Braves over 500 for maybe the first time this season. Marlins over the Rays 9-4. Astros beat the Yankees 6-3. Twins extended their winning streak to 12 games with a 3-0 win over the Brewers. Diamondbacks beat the Rockies 8-0. Mariners beat the Padres in game 1 of the Eddie Vedder series 5-1. Angels beat the Dodgers 6-2. And Giants beat the Athletics 9-1. So that was yesterday's scores. We're the only game actually live and going on right now as it is. Cody Bellinger at the plate, 3 balls and 1 strike. He was swinging 3-0. Here's the 3-1 pitch. There's a strike right down the middle. Change up down the middle. 3 balls, 2 strikes. They've got like a Mets player head that kind of looks like Keith Hernandez with a crab showing on the screen. That's really funny. They're debating, does this look like Keith Hernandez? I'll share the screen here really quick. You guys think that, do you think that looks like Keith Hernandez? They're debating in the booth. What do you guys think? Does that look like Keith Hernandez? All right. We'll get everything caught up here. So I don't know what you guys think. You think that's so? Cody Bellinger flies out for the first out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Paul Goldschmidt at the plate. Count is 1 ball, no strikes. There's a strike. Maybe a curveball there. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's another strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mets are up 2-1, bottom of the fourth. 1 out. Griffin Canning pitching. Goldschmidt up. 2-2 count. There's a rounder chopped foul down the third baseline. Hope everybody is doing awesome here today. We'll read a little bit more. I'll read this article on Ronnie Mauricio during the next commercial break. Fouled off by Goldschmidt to stay alive here. I'll repost the link to the article in case you guys want to read it ahead here. But we'll go over that article. Swing and a miss by Goldschmidt. And Griffin Canning gets another 2 outs here, bottom of the fourth. All right, Jason Dominguez, the Martian. He's at the plate. First pitch is a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Whoa, that's way high there. 1 ball, 1 strike. All right, here's the 1-1 pitch to Dominguez. That's chopped foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's a grounder up the middle for a 2-out base hit. Soto cuts it off, throws it in. It's going to be just a single there. So we got 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1 runner on. Volpe is up here, bottom of the fourth. Brett Beatty made an excellent barehanded defensive play to throw him out earlier in this game. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Volpe. That's outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So Canning cruising through this inning, give out a 2-out hit. And now I'm going to find the strike zone here against Volpe. Assuming Volpe's going to have the green light here for sure on 2-0. And he chops it. And this time a small short chopper to Beatty He is able to field it, not having to barehand it. Charged it well, threw him out, and that's going to retire the side in the fourth inning. So we're going to go to the top of the fifth. The Mets clinging on to a 2-1 lead. Got my iced coffee, but it's at the bottom where it all kind of freezes in a lump. All right. We're going to read this article here about Ronnie Mauricio. I think I have it up on the screen if you want to read along with me. We'll also share it so you guys can see this here. Ronnie Mauricio, this is called Mauricio reinstated from injury list, will continue rehab at AAA. Ronnie Mauricio's winding road back to the big leagues took another turn, albeit an expected one on Saturday when the Mets reinstated him from the injured list and optioned him to AAA Syracuse. Mauricio will remain there until New York both deems him ready for Major League action and has a roster need. Now, I would say that you could argue that there is a roster need now, but the being deemed ready for Major League action is kind of the bigger question here. Mauricio, 24, has been rehabbing since December 2023 when he tore the ACL in his right knee while playing winter ball in Dominican Republic. He underwent surgery at the time, then a second operation last August to remove scar tissue from the knee. Only in late April, more than 16 months after his initial injury, did Mauricio advance to game action on a minor league rehab assignment. Mauricio's rehab clock, which can last a maximum of 21 days, was set to expire this weekend. Because Mauricio is technically a healthy player, the Mets made the administrative move to activate him and option him to Syracuse, where he was already playing. It's just becoming a normal baseball player, getting used to playing every day without the restrictions. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza said, maybe you're only playing 5 innings on rehab, or you're only playing 7. Just continue to play full games, continue to play back-to-back 3-4 games in a row, and he's not there yet. We've got to get him there. The Mets have no reason to rush Mauricio, which I agree, considering their infield is fully stocked with Lindor, Vientos, McNeil, Beatty, and Acuna, all drawing regular starts. But once Mauricio is physically ready to contribute on an everyday basis, the Mets believe he can impact them. Long a top prospect in the organization, Mauricio has posted exit velocities in the major leagues, or elite exit velocities in the major leagues, as well as an 852 OPS during his last season in 2023. He likely would have won an everyday job on the 2024 opening day roster had he been healthy enough to do so. Where Mauricio plays once healthy will depend largely on the Mets' needs at that time. While at AAA, Mauricio will take reps at shortstop, second, and third base in preparation for any scenario. I wonder if he'll take some center field reps too. He's a guy that missed a whole year last year, and he's got to get used to that routine of playing every day, being a normal, healthy player, Mendoza said. He's healthy, but without the restrictions now. We'll watch him. We know the tools. We know the impact this guy can be, but he missed a whole year of development, and we want to see the reps and how he handles that. So that's a full update on Ronnie Mauricio, now activated, option to AAA. Tyrone Taylor strikes out looking here to start the top of the 5th inning. So if you are in the club of excited to see Ronnie Mauricio, that definitely sets him up as a potential to break this major league roster. But again, I would not expect him to be rushed. Ooh, that pitch was way at the bottom of the zone. This umpire has a much larger strike zone than the umpire last night. No balls, 1 strike to Francisco Lindor. Lindor grounds that down to first base, and he's going to be retired. There's 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th inning. All right. Juan Soto is up. First pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Juan Soto. That's inside as well. Never mentioned it before, but Clark Schmidt has this sort of weird twitchy leg thing that he does kind of right before he pitches. And so not entirely sure what that's all about, but he's very consistent with it. Swing and a miss by Soto. Huge cut. Swinging for the fences on that one. Soto definitely looks like he's a hair behind on some of these pitches. Yeah, he looks behind again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, Keith is saying it's like pulling the shoulder off. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Soto, 2 outs here. Top of the 5th. Yankees fans. Woo! That was a close pitch. Just outside. It was a ball. That's a hard pitch to take by Soto there. Good. That's a good take, but it's a hard take. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's also a very good pitch by Schmidt. And that's inside. And Soto is going to work the walk. So Soto had 3 walks yesterday. Add another one to the total for the series today. The 5th time Soto has been on base in the last 2 games. So see if the Mets can get some sort of 2-out rally going here. 2-out rally. First pitch to Pete is a ball. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. And there's a strike down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pete Alonso. 2 outs. Juan Soto's on first. Mets are up 2-1. Alonso pops that one foul. Out of play into the crowd. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pete Alonso at the plate. Juan Soto on first. 2 outs. Top of the 5th. Yankees are getting some action in their bullpen. What is Schmidt is up to 67 pitches. Daniel Nunez just got sent down. Probably didn't. Yeah, because that's for the guy the Mets traded for, right? What was his name? Castillo. Jose Castillo. Yeah, Nunez looked like he wasn't quite ready yet. Needs a little more seasoning. I feel confident he'll be back. He's a left-handed reliever. We'll see him again. Pete rips that one, but it's going to be caught. That's going to retire the side here as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Remains 2-1 Mets. So Soto does get the 2-out walk. Mets are unable to do anything with that. But they do lead 2-1. Gonna change your screen name right now. All right. Are you picking a new player to rename yourself as? At least it's not like a permanent name change that you made legally, that you have to go down to the courthouse now to go get your Danielle New. Yes. You go. Jose Cast. You could go Jose Castillo. You go P. Pete Lon. So I don't know what else you got there. You got one of those options available to you. We do France. Oh, I like this one. I like that one. Francis Collendor. Give me Mark Keeve Entos. It's Escara is hitting for the Yankees here. Bottom of the fifth, no outs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Griffin Canning still pitching for the Mets. His pitch count is at 62. And very efficient, just the 1 home run given up, and even that wasn't a horrible pitch or a great swing. It was just short porch in right field is why it got out. There's 4 options for you, Jonathan. Yeah, Mets definitely need insurance runs for sure. That's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's another foul ball by Escara. It's going to remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Metropolitan. There you go. That works. Metropolitanthans. I like it. I like it. Channel approved. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Escara here. Griffin Canning continues to battle. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, bottom of the fifth. Mets are up 2-1. Oh, that's low. We walked them. Yeek. Don't like those leadoff walks. It's Canning's first walk of the day. I don't like walks at all. I don't ever like walking guys. Unless it's an actual intentional walk. It strategically makes sense. DJ LeMahieu, he has the home run. The 1 run that the Yankees have scored today. First pitch is ball outside. Cannon's losing the strike zone all of a sudden again. It's outside again. 2-0. Come on, Canning. Bear down, Canning. Bear. Yeah, the bottom of the order. It's like, yeah, if you're gonna walk someone, walk Aaron Judge. That's fine. But you know, these are the outs you got to get, so that way you can get to Judge with nobody on base. That's a strike, barely. Got it. Got the call there. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Line up the middle for a base hit. Second hit of the day for LeMahieu. Yankees have runners on first and second. Nobody out in the bottom of the fifth. All right, so Canning's in a jam, maybe the first real jam that he's been in today. So we're going to see how he can pitch through it. Vivas is up as the number 9 hitter. Mets are expecting a bunt. He does not bunt. First pitch is a strike down the middle. It's going to be an 0-1 pitch here. See if he squares. Swing and a miss. That's pitch inside, too. No, 0-2. That's going to definitely take the bunt off at this point in time. That's low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yankees still have 2 runners on. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. So Canning would love to get the strikeout here or the double play, either one. The catcher's on second, so there's even a chance you can get a third to first double play or something like that. That's going to be fouled down the left field line. Or let's just get the triple play. How about we just do that? How about we get the triple play? What's the best option for that? Let's do the line drive to the shortstop. Line drive to Lindor. He catches it, tags the runner, and steps on second. Let's go for that. Come on, Kenny. Scripting it out ahead of time. There's a strikeout. So there goes the triple play option. But we'll take the strikeout. All right. It's going to turn the lineup over for the Yankees. Going to bring Ben Rice to the plate. So Canning in a little bit of trouble. Got the first out here. Looking for a double play here. First pitch is fouled out of play. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Ben Rice. He flies one out to left field. Nimmo's able to make the catch. Everybody goes back. It's going to be 2 outs. Aaron Judge is coming up with runners on first and second. They're going to do a meeting of the minds at the mound here just to figure out how they want to approach Judge. What do you do here? You're up by 1. Judge is coming up. All right, they're saying got a pitch judge up. Let's see what the approach is here. Swing and a miss. All right, 0-1. There are 2 outs. You're just looking for an out anyway here. Out anyway. That's up and in. It's going to be a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is definitely a bit of a chess match here. Soft grounder to third. Beatty makes a nice running in play. That's the 3rd solid defensive play Beatty has made at third today. We will take it anytime you can get Aaron Judge out, especially when there's runners on base. You will take it. It's going to remain 2-1 Mets to go to the top of the 6th. Due up is Nimmo, Vientos, and McNeil. So, Mets survived again. That's how you feel. Kind of similar like against the Dodgers lineup too. All right, Rally Bear for the name change. We got that. Let's do, what are we going to do? You know, I've got this tripod thing here. I think the tripod should hold Rally Bear up here. If I can push this back a little bit more, maybe I can get both of us in the screen. All right. I'm going to go hunt for, while we're getting ready, because the 6th inning, so we'll hunt for some streaming. There were so many people streaming the game last night. It was so crazy. So we'll see who we can find who's live today. There's actually someone streaming live from the game. That's kind of cool. Their camera's kind of going crazy right now. Man, this is what people want to watch. They just want, check this out, guys. We're not going to raid. That was good pitching out of the gym. So this guy, he's just at the game. He's not even commentating. There's like just 1,100 people watching the alternate view without any commentary. That's kind of cool. That's amazing, though. You can get that many people just with an alternate, no commentary camera view. Very interesting. So if you guys are interested just in watching an alternate view of the game being live streamed, this is like maybe upper deck, right field line. That's kind of cool. All right, it's no balls and 2 strikes to Nimmo. That's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm just looking for some smaller creators. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brandon Nimmo now is the count. Nimmo fouls that one off. That might have been ball 3. It's top of the zone. You gotta protect on that one for sure. That's MLB The Show. We did them last night. Did we do those guys last night? I don't know if we did these guys last night. Let me see. I'm going to check them out, see if they look familiar. I think we did them last night. And there's a walk by Nimmo. Leadoff walk. Liking it. Liking it. I'm liking Nimmo's patience a lot more. Swaggy Marky V is at the plate. First pitch to him is a ball. That's going to be a foul ball just out of play. The judge made a good run at that. Yeah, that was a good job. I like the blend of the old Nimmo with the new Nimmo. I like the Nimmo who just can be kind of a chameleon and jump in and out of whatever role he needs to do in that particular at bat. When Nimmo goes up as power hitter only, I think that diminishes so much of his game. But when he goes up and when he's the leadoff hitter in the inning and he just tries to get on base the old-fashioned Nimmo way, I like that. When he comes up with runners in scoring position, tries to drive it, I like that. The grounder to third, and Vientos grounds into a double play. All right, I found the guys. Got a handful of people watching, but we got someone that we're going to raid here in a little bit. So we'll do that in the seventh inning. So that's going to be 2 outs here. Jeff McNeil at the plate. Situational hitting, I guess. That's what we're talking about here. Can the Mets figure out how to do a lot more situational hitting with everything? You stink, Rally Bear. Yeah, if you have the order reverse where you have Vientos before Nimmo, then Vientos is a ground out, and then Nimmo's on base now with a walk with 1 out instead of the double play. Batting order matters. I'd rather have Vientos in the 4 hole and Nimmo in the 5 hole. But Carlos Mendoza is not going to listen to me. There's a strike to McNeil. 1 ball, 2 strikes. MetropoliTwins. MetropoliFins. You could just go with that. You could just be MetropoliFins. 2 balls, 2 strikes. By the way, the beard was getting really wild, so I shaped her down today. So a little less poofiness on the beard. Fouled down the first baseline by McNeil. It's 2-1 Mets, top of the 6th. 2 outs. Nobody on, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Clark Schmidt still pitching. Considering how the Mets kind of had him on the ropes, he's done a good job of pushing through. They actually had a relief pitcher up earlier in this game. So far, he's been able to push himself through, aiming for this 100-pitch mark. That's ball. Vientos forced it to a full count. McNeil's taking his time out here. braid my beard like a Viking. Beat the Yankees, please, Welsh, please. I don't want to lose the series on day 2. It's going to be hard enough to win against Freed tomorrow. Fouled away. Fan made a one-handed grab. They haven't shown us. Show us the replay on that. It remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat here by McNeil with 2 outs. Be nice to get Clark Schmidt out of this game. 3-2 pitch. Fouled away again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. This is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. So both McNeil and Beatty have good at-bats this inning. The problem is in the middle, you have Vientos ground into a double play. So popped up by McNeil. Volpe catches it in shallow center field, and that's going to retire the Mets. Going to the bottom of the 6th inning, it remains 2-1. Griffin Canning should be back out again. Canning's at 81 pitches. Clark Schmidt's at 87 pitches. So even though that did not end out in the Mets' favor, that was a really good at-bat by McNeil. He wasn't happy with the result of the pop-out, but still, it was a good at-bat. Nimmo also had a good at-bat. But nothing to show for it. Mets just have the 2-0 lead. All right, so we're at commercial break. You're not missing anything. Yeah, stressful. I mean, just from a broader sense, I don't put that much of my life stock in how a baseball team that I can't control plays, but yeah. It's not none. The Mets have not just had an enjoyable game to watch here for a while, where it's just been like a domination from start to finish. Like, there's just been, when's the last time the Mets had like just a game that they just dominated? It was like that 19-run game. Was that the last one where the Mets were like just in charge from start to finish? I'm going to just look at their recent loss. One, beat the Pirates 2-1, beat the Pirates 4-3. Maybe the 7-2. Yeah, I guess they had back-to-back 7-1, 7-2 wins against the Diamondbacks and Cubs, but it's like that 19-5 win, that was back on April 28th, so coming up on like 3 weeks already on that. I don't know. Maybe it was just unrealistic expectations on my part. I just thought there were going to be more games where the Mets were putting up double-digit runs. I'm not expecting every day. This is hit out to deep right center, and there's a home run for Cody Bellinger, and the lead is gone. 2-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. You just can't. You're not going to beat the Yankees if you can't score runs. It's like all these, the top of this order, 1 through 5, they can all hit home runs, and they can score in spurts quickly. So it's 2-2 game. We'll see what Mets are going to have to score more runs. You're not going to. But it just, I don't know. I try not to be like frustrated or super upset, but it's kind of like when you're struggling to put together good at bats against the Pirates, it doesn't give you confidence that you can put together good at bats against the Yankees. Yeah, but he crushed that one, Justin. It is a hitter's ballpark. That first home run, the LeMahieu home run, you can thank the ballpark. But that one, that was just destroyed by Bellinger. And my thing is like it's the same ballpark for us. I understand it's not like our home park. Grounder to Beatty at third. Comes up firing. Beatty's been really solid over there today. It feels like the Mets need a bat. And I know that sounds weird. It just feels like the Mets need I don't know what even they need, but it feels like they just need the Luis Arias type, and I understand there's not many guys like him. They just need the gritty. I'm not sure. It was Dominguez hits it up the hole, and that's going to be a 1-out base hit. 2-2 is the score. Bottom of the sixth, 1 out. Yankees have a runner on first. Yeah, I mean, I doubt that the Padres are going to part with him at this point in time. He might have been free for the taking, but like I don't. So I know there was lots of talk of Luis Robert. I don't know how to say the name. I've heard it said both ways. I don't know which one's right. Like, let me just see who's. I'm gonna just look over Major League batting average leaders 2025. Looking for somebody. Batting average leaders from a team that's available. The Athletics won't trade Jacob Wilson. Of course, Aaron Judge is not available for trade. Paul Goldschmidt's not. Freddie Freeman's not. Manny Machado's not. Will Smith is not. Brendan Donovan, but he plays second base. That's not going to really help. The Guardians are in the mix. So Stephen Kwan would not be. Not Bobby Witt. Not Shohei Ohtani. Check swing past Alonso into right field. It's going to be runners on first and third for the Yankees. Griffin Canning is in trouble, and I think he's coming out of the game here. So Jonathan Aranda of the Rays, but he's a first baseman. Unless you're going to just just run him as your DH. That's one option. Jeremy Payne is a shortstop. CJ Abrams not available. Shortstop. Pete. It's just hard. It's hard to find guys who are consistent sparks in this lineup. Kyle Stowers from Miami. He's a right fielder. I don't know if he'd have the ability to play center. He's hitting 299 on the season. They have Arias playing first in San Diego right now, maybe. Gavin Lux, a left fielder out of Cincinnati. Maybe he'd be available. There's just not a lot of high batting average hitters. The Rockies center fielder. Let me see who that is. So I'll let you guys dive in a little bit here. Here's Kyle Stowers of the Marlins. I mean, it's probably got to be an outfield. Our infield is so jam-packed. So there's Kyle Stowers. There's Gavin Lux. There's a couple that might be available at the trade deadline. Reds keep falling further and further out of it. All right, let me look up the Rockies here. See if I can find. Is that Brenton Doyle? He's hitting 210. And that's with like the Colorado. Let me just see what. Maybe there's someone who doesn't qualify. Oh man, like the Colorado Rockies are so bad. I mean, if you're looking for a diamond in the rough from the Rockies, I mean, their catcher is their batting average leader. Brazaban's coming in here. I mean, Mickey Moniak. Ground ball to Pete Alonso, throws it home. And Torrens puts on the tag to get the out to preserve the tie game. So Pete made up for maybe that last mistake there. Good job. That was a good play by Pete. I'm going to look at. Yeah, I mean, if you look at like Stowers out of Miami, the other day he went 3 for 4. He's currently on a 4-game hit streak. The Yankees pull off a double steal here. It's a huge jump. So now they got runners on second and third. Good pick by Beatty at third. That ball could have gotten by. Yeah, he easily stole the base. Ooh, they're sending the runners back. Why is that? The umpire called interference on himself. Wow. There's a strike down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is DJ LeMahieu. Well, the Mets got bailed out with umpire interference. I don't know if I've ever seen that, guys. I'm kind of surprised that the Yankees didn't really like argue that, because I think that base was stolen no matter what. I'd be kind of ticked off if I was a Yankee fan on that. That's a fly ball foul on LeMahieu. It's going to be 1 ball, 2 strikes. I mean, I don't know what it would take to get Stowers. He's 27. But Stowers is hitting 321 over his last 30 games, 296 in his last 15 games. Very consistent. He gets a hit. Man, it looks like about 2/3 of the games he's getting a hit. So I like that. We'll look at Gavin Lux here in a second, too. LeMahieu grounds to Beatty. He throws it over to McNeil. It's going to retire the side. So it is going to be 2-2. We're going to head to the top of the 7. So let me just show you this really quick. I'll bring up the Stowers. You know, I mean, there's been talks. Of course, I've told you guys I'd love to have Byron Buxton, but if the Twins keep winning, hold on 1 second. Excuse me. Sneeze came out of nowhere. If the Twins keep winning, there's obviously no chance that Buxton will become available. Cedric Mullins, we can look him up too. Let me just show you some of Stower's stats, and again, I don't know how many of these guys Sorry, excuse me again here, real quick. I don't know if these guys would be eligible or available to play center field because that's kind of where like the big hole is. So I don't know all those. I'm just looking at outfielders in general because you probably don't want to put Nimmo in center again. But if you just look here, I'll scroll. Sorry, I'm going all over the place. Last 7 games, hitting 280. Last 15 games, 296. Last 30 games, hitting 321. Like, and then if you go here against the Cubs, he went 3 for 4 with a triple, 2 home runs. I mean, so he's got some power. He's got how many home runs on the season? 10? 9? Oh, that's the last 30 games. Hold on. 10 home runs on the season. You know, I mean, there is a chance that there's regression here because he's a career 236 hitter hitting 300, but you know, you get far enough into the season. So there's the Stowers. Then let me show you guys. I haven't looked at this one yet, but we'll show you guys Gavin Lux. He's on the Reds. Again, they have him as a left fielder. Let's see. Last 7 games, he's hitting 292. Last 15, 204, but last 30, 324. Of course, Gavin Lux came up and he was like a super big deal. And then he kind of had a couple of tough seasons. What's his career? Career batting average is 256. Not horrible, hitting 297 this season. If we look at some of his recent games, how's he doing here? I mean, he's had 6 hits over his last 3 games. Hey, Torrens has a leadoff single for the Mets. You said Cedric Mullins. I didn't even know if he was still playing. All right, let's go see if this is easy to look up here. Cedric Mullins. Yeah, I mean, his batting average isn't crazy. He does have the power. Yeah, I mean, the whole Orioles team has been struggling, so it's hard to know. All right, we're going to have a pitching change here, by the way. Mark Leiter Jr. is coming in for Clark Schmidt. Brett Beatty is due up here with nobody out, 1 on in the top of the 7th. So, I mean, the Cedric Mullins, if you're looking for like another power, I mean, I still think Mullins is an upgrade over, you know, Tyrone Taylor for sure. His career batting average is 251. He's hitting only 226 on the season. Does have 8 home runs. So you could look for some positive regression here. What has he done over the last couple seasons? I mean, he's been right around this 230. 2023, 233, 2024, 234. So he has yet to kind of get back to his 2021, 2022 numbers. So it kind of depends on, you know, I'm not opposed to it. I just don't want to trade. I wouldn't want to trade a lot for a Cedric Mullins. I mean, he's a lot older, right? He's got to be. How old is he? He's 30. How old is Gavin Lux? Gavin Lux is 27, and Stowers is 27. Now, I don't know the contract information, all those guys, but I do feel like we need, you know, and then the other question is like, is there a reason to mess with the top 3 in the batting order? You know, this Lindor, Soto, Alonso. Is there a negative by having those 3 guys up in the first inning? And if you don't score, it's probably 2 more innings till you get back around to those guys. You know, I mean, obviously you want to get your best hitters as many plate appearances as possible, but all right, Leiter pitched last night. That's good to see him again. First pitch to Beatty is a strike. No balls, 1 strike. After this top half of the inning, we are going to raid another creator. I found somebody. Hopefully they will see us today. Hopefully they'll still be streaming by the time we get there. It's a Yankees guy, but seemed to have a pretty decent friendly. So hopefully y'all can be friendly, even though he's a Yankee fan. Be positive and uplifting and all of that. No balls, 2 strikes to Beatty. Beatty grounds to second. He's going to be able to beat out the relay, though, so it'll just be a fielder's choice. Good hustle down the line by Beatty. I don't know how the Yankees didn't turn 2 there. What happened? I think it was LeMahieu. Just was that sure felt like it should have been a double play. Tyrone Taylor's coming up here. Oof, first pitch is a strike. All right, no balls, 1 strike. Runner on first with 1 out here. Top of the 7th. So, in all, that's not a horrible thing because Beatty's going to be at least a little faster than Torrens. Taylor, this one deep. It gets over Dominguez's head. Beatty to third. He's rounding home. There's going to be a play at the plate. He's out at the plate. Oh. They sent Mets are going to see if they're going to challenge here. The Mets are going to challenge. We'll see. It was a great throw by Dominguez to Volpe and Volpe to home. It looks like he's probably going to be out. Yeah, he's going to be out. I don't see any evidence that they're going to overturn this. Yeah. I don't know if I love the call to send Beatty there either. I can't, there's only 1 out, and you could have had second and third with 1 out with Lindor coming to the plate. I think that's a miscall. He was out even if his foot doesn't bounce, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I like the call there. Lounge, I think so. I think it's a bad send just because of the situation. Like, I understand you want to take the lead, but you're set to have runners on second and third with 1 out and Lindor and Soto coming up. Especially, so Beatty had to slow down at second to see if it was going to be caught. I think Lindor, big swing and a miss. I think you're better off not sending him there. I think you got to trust. You have to trust the top of your lineup. Lindor does a bunt, fouls back. This team, the offense on this team is just feeling desperate. And then they're making mistakes now, like feeling like they have to send a runner around third with 1 out when your top guys are coming up. Lindor's going to do the timeout here. So no balls, 2 strikes to Lindor. It just feels like the entire offense is stressing, right? It feels like nothing is working, so everybody's trying to force something to work. Lindor grounds it up the middle, and he is thrown out at first. Mets can't challenge it because they already used their challenge. And again, if you have second and third on that play, that almost certainly scores a run, even if Lindor is out, plus you'd have your challenge. I don't know. It just feels like the team is tight. The whole team feels from the offensive side. It just feels like everybody's desperate to make an offensive play, and then because of that, everyone is like making mistakes. I don't know how to explain it, but it just doesn't feel when the offense isn't clicking, everybody's trying to make the big play instead of making the smaller plays. And so if you go back to the send of Beatty there, if instead it's runners on second and third with Lindor up and one out, a ground ball deep in the hole scores the run. And even if Lindor is out at first, you get the run home. And I just think that there's kind of this, and I get it. Everybody wants to contribute. Everybody wants to help, but it just continues to make it a little bit worse every step of the way. I don't know. They're going to have to break out of this, and I'm not doubting their long-term ability to put some things together. All right, here's what we're going to do. What we always do in the opponent's seventh inning is we go and we raid another smaller creator, and we try to do it of fans of other teams. This is positive, encouraging. This is not about fandom. This is about supporting people who are grinding. Well, it's a mental thing, but it's a teammate thing. It's everybody on the team wanting to contribute when they know the team is struggling. And so, all right, here we go. We're going to go raid a smaller creator here. And so hopefully this link will work for you guys. Please be positive, encouraging, uplifting. We want to be building up other creators. It's not about fandom. This is about just supporting other creators who are out there doing the grind. So here we go. We're going to put the link in the chat for you guys to raid. Share the love, like the stream. If you like their vibe, you can also subscribe to them as well. We're just going to support some other smaller creators here. All right. There we go. A little shout out from them. They're being this guy for a Yankee fan. He seems pretty nice. So do that. So if you guys want to hop on over, he's already given us a call out here. Darren, yeah, the Mets are squandering their challenges a little bit. I mean, it's a reasonable challenge in that spot. Like I said, I think the bigger issue was sending Beatty. I don't think you send Beatty there. It's second and third, one out with Lindor and Soto coming up. Like, they're stressing. The team is just that's my take on it. And I mean the coaching staff is stressing. It's like the Mets need to put together sometime soon just a game where everybody just absolutely can hit. All right, hold on one second. I'll be right back with you guys. All right. We're coming back for the home stretch here. Still. All right. Trent Grisham is at the plate. Huascar Brazaban is pitching. Bottom of the seventh. Nobody out. 1-2 count. As the bottom of the lineup, the 9-hole, 9-1-2 due up for the Yankees here. So Grisham's coming in as a pinch hitter for Vivas, who was their leadoff hitter. So it's basically back-to-back leadoff hitters with Ben Rice up next, and then Aaron Judge trying to get a runner on and get somebody on base. Thank you, Darren, for the raid over there as well. All right. We're going to close some of these other tabs here. We've got 2.5 innings. It's going to determine a lot of how this series is going to go. Grounder to Beatty at third. Man, Beatty has made so many solid plays at third base today. I think that's 5 plays, and not one of them has been like the easy routine play. They've almost all been on the run in some way or another, including a great barehanded play. Man, so next weekend, we've got a Dodgers series. I guess we're going to find out a lot about this team. Grounder to Lindor, makes the throw. There is 2 outs. Hey, no problem. Hope you guys are doing well. Sorry, we're not giving you a better series, as we're kind of disappointed as Mets fans, but appreciate it. We try to raid some small creators. I know you're bigger than us, but still other small creators. It's so hard. You know how it is, getting love from the YouTube algorithm. So I always have to like scroll down, find out who YouTube's not sharing the love, and we share the love. So doing good. It was fun listening to your broadcast for a little bit too as well. Aaron Judge is at the plate here. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. So if you are a Yankee fan, Ace Avenue is your place to go over. Check them out, because I think they're on the path to 2,000, right? Closing in on 2,000 subs. Meanwhile, we're on the path to 500 subscribers. Next checkpoint for us is 300. So if you haven't hit the like and subscribe for us, please do that here as well. Good luck. Keep on grinding, Ace Avenue. Overall, the Mets' approach to pitching Judge has not been horrible this series. Their approach to pitching Bellinger and Goldschmidt have not been as good. You gave the Yankees fan. Hey, that's a big sacrifice for you, Darren. That's a big sacrifice. A Mets fan giving a Yankee fan streamer a like. That's a big sacrifice. But you know, in the creator world, some things are bigger than the team you support. It's just like helping other small creators and other guys who just putting that grind in, helping them either get to monetization, or if they are monetized, help them to get from part-time to full-time, whatever their goals are. And I'm all about that. You know, we've had Tom Grassi and other streamers raid us, and you know, our raids aren't huge right now, but we're all about sharing the love, because I know showing up day in and day out as much as you can, it's hard to do. Hey, there's a strike 3, strikeout by Judge. So I would say if there's one thing that I really like, it's been the Mets' approach to Aaron Judge. It's been pretty good. Obviously, everybody knows how lethal Aaron Judge is as a hitter, and the Mets have done a good job. Doesn't mean they're going to continue to do a good job, but so far, it's been a good job. So we're headed to the top of the 8th inning. I like the fact that the Mets put together a rally. We got the game tied up, so let's see what they can do from this point. Going forward, Mets scored two in the fourth. Yankees scored one in the third and one in the sixth. So we're going to see if the Mets can put together something here. It's going to be Soto, Alonso, and Nimmo. We did Rally Bear last time. We're going to go Rally Pig this time. Rally Pig is coming out here. Need some home runs. This feels like, doesn't it feel like Soto just has to hit a home run this series? Not like he's due, but just like for the story arc. Rally Pig time, you better believe it. Rally Pig time. Searching emojis. And by the way, if you're searching for emojis, if you search for boar, you get a boar as well. So if you want to add that in, there we go. There's the emojis. You can throw your Rally Pig emojis up in the chat. Soto, Pete, Nimmo, yeah. This is the time to take the lead. Tim Hill coming in. 18 and 2/3 innings pitched with 3.86 ERA on the season. First pitch to Soto is a strike. We got the Rally Pig emojis in the chat. No balls, one strike to Soto. That's going to be low. It's kind of a sidearming lefty here. Soto with a half swing, off balance swing, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Soto rips one, but it's going to be foul. He got too far in front of it. He tried to hold back, but it was way too early. One ball, 2 strikes to Soto here. No, it's top of the 2-2 game. We got ourselves a battle on our hands. At least we're not getting blown out yet like we did last night. So the sooner the Mets can retake the lead, though, the better. For sure, for sure. If you guys haven't done so yet, would you please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're 2 away from 260. 2 away from 260. Soto's going to fly this out to left field. And Dominguez makes the catch. There's going to be 1 out, top of the 8th. All right, I'll check it out. Doing the quick search without typing all of that in. Yep. There's $30. That one's not mine. It's the same piggy bank, but that's not mine actually for sale. But if you want to buy your own Rally Pig, Mona's Jewelry and More has it for sale for $20. Oh my, why did that just that's like hold on. Hold on. That's way too long. Back to the wall here. Pete Alonso with a 1-out double. Yeah, there are other variations of it for sure. I know I was researching and I was like, oh, my childhood memories of the piggy bank are worth more than $20. Let's let me see if I can find a shorter link. That'll bring you right to it. Yeah. If you want to get your very own rally pig from Mona's Vintage Jewelry and More, there you go. No balls, one strike, two. Brandon Nemo. There it is. $20 or best offer. It's probably been sitting a while. If you offered Mona 12, she's probably going to counter you at like 18, and you can maybe meet in the middle at 15. Plus $10 shipping. So if you want to buy your own rally pig, there you go. There's rally pig. All right, Brandon Nemo is up. No balls and two strikes. Has been jammed a couple of pitches here. There's a grounder to first base. Pete's going to be able to move up to third, but it's going to be 2 outs in the inning. So get the runner to third. And we're going to have a pitching change. They're going to bring in the righty to face Swaggy Mark Vientos. There you go. There you go. See what you gotta let me know. Gotta let me know. I guess we still gotta leave Rally Pig out. I should come in and bid like make out $12.01 firm offer, no wiggle room. It's missing from what it looks like. There used to be a stopper on this one. If you look on the bottom of the piggy bank, there used to be a stopper. I still have mine somewhere around here. I don't know where exactly it is. So like as of like within the last week, I've had the stopper somewhere. It probably just fell down somewhere back behind here. It's like a little clear. Yeah, I don't see it up on the desk. Hold on. It's somewhere. So it is missing the stopper. So like mine is, but I have the stopper somewhere around here. My guess is there's no way to know. It's probably been sitting for a long time. I gotta imagine there's not a super high demand. Yeah, it even says missing the stopper. All right, so we're still on break. We got a pitching change going on here. And then the action. Fernando Cruz coming in. The Yankees bullpen looks like it's having a pretty solid season here too so far. So. First pitch to Vientos is a strike. No balls, one strike. 2 outs, run around third, which is Pete Alonso. Mets need a hit here. Vientos does have a sacrifice fly. Well, that's a quick way to get a ban. Are we really that popular that you got to spam us? Pirated ESPN game stream? Here's the 0-2 pitch to Vientos. He does not chase. Good hold there by Vientos. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. Vientos is going to use his timeout here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Vientos. Cruz really likes to use up that clock. Swing and a miss on a ball. That was a nasty pitch. All right. Well, that's going to retire the Mets. Remains 2-2, headed to the bottom of the 8th. So, Mets' ability to just make adjustments to pitchers just continues to be a problem. All right, we're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll see if we get a pitching change for the Mets here or not. Brazaban's gone 1 2/3. 1 2/3 with a strikeout. So we'll see if they bring him out for the start of a 3rd inning. I'm waiting. If I see anything, I will let you know. I will let you know. 2-2. Pretty good performance by Griffin Canning today. The 1 home run, that was kind of definitely a Yankee Stadium right field home run. And then the Bellinger home run was a no-doubter. But, I mean, I would say of the 2, giving up that LeMahieu home run, that's kind of a bummer because it's probably not a home run in most any other ballpark. But in Yankee Stadium, you can get air under it and get out to right field. It's a home run. Yep, 330-foot pop out. I wonder, did they say how far it was? I don't know if they actually did it. True. And George Steinbrenner Stadium. That's true, too. Yeah. All right. Vientos is, but I'm willing to give him a little bit more leeway just as a younger player. Reed Garrett is pitching for the Mets. That's who they decided to bring in here. So, 1 ball, 1 strike by Reed Garrett. Philatia is totally unjustified. Well, the Mets, I'm going to tell you the biggest mistake of the game was sending Beatty. When Mets could have had 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. That's high and outside. Reed Garrett struggling with command again. You could have had Beatty on 3rd, Tyrone Taylor on 2nd with 1 out, and Lindor and Soto coming up. And I think that was a bad play there. That's low, 3-1. Hey, guess what, guys? Reed Garrett still has control issues. I think just broadly covering these games, I think the frustrating fact is just seeing the same things happening over and over. There's a 5-pitch walk. It's the 3rd straight appearance that Reed Garrett walks the leadoff batter. I just don't understand. How are we not making changes? I think that's the part that's frustrating as a fan. It's what look, these guys aren't perfect. We understand they're going to make mistakes, but it's like, can we stop making the same mistakes over and over and over again? Grounded to short, Lindor to second, throws it over to first. We do get the double play, so Reed Garrett gets bailed out by the defense. So that's not the way we want to do it, but we'll take it. But still, it's just like, why do we keep making the same mistakes on a regular basis? That's the part that I would like to really see get fixed. You know, Jonathan, if she accepts your offer on the rally pig, backswing just hit Torrens in the helmet. I feel like if you get the catcher on your backswing, I feel like that should not be allowed. I feel like that should be like a strike or something. I don't know. I'm not just talking about that at bat. I mean, I've seen some bad ones. Was it Molina who took a horrible shot to the head like couple years back? I don't know. I feel like you as the batter should be in control of your backswing. Like the catcher's in control of his glove. You're not allowed. If you hit the catcher's glove, that's the catcher's fault. But I feel like if you hit on your backswing, if you hit the catcher's helmet, that should be your fault. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Dominguez here. There's a ground ball foul down the first baseline. McNeil, Torrens, and Beatty are due up. They're due up in the ninth with Acuna, Alvarez, Azokar, and Marte on the bench. Dominguez just hit Torrens in the mask again. I don't know. It's not a. Yeah, like I get lineup building. Darren is. I don't know what Torrens was upset about there. And Reed Garrett walks another guy. Go figure. But yeah, I mean, I get lineup building is hard, but right. So if you have it the opposite way, the strike three, you think maybe that's what he was. Let me go back. Hold on, I'm going back to watch that pitch again. All right, 1 ball, no strikes to Volpe. 2 balls, no strikes to Volpe. I have no idea what is going on with Reed Garrett. All right. All right. Shortest, right field. I'll see if I can find that out here. All right. I'll check in between here. There's a foul ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, no, but I mean, so going back to your comment, Darren, sorry, getting distracted here. I got too many things running through my head. Right. If you have Vientos before Nimmo, then Vientos they're not going to bring in the righty. They're going to leave the lefty in to face Nimmo. So, all right. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Throw over to first. Runner gets back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. 2-2 game, bottom of the 8th. Reed Garrett keeps getting himself in trouble. See if he can get himself out of trouble again. We got the 1 double play. See if he... And Volpe hits it the other way. It's going to go all the way back to the wall. Yeah. So they hold Dominguez at third. Volpe with the opposite field double. It's going to bring Escara up. So the Yankees did what the Mets didn't do. 4 out of 30. 4 out of 30 stadiums. Yeah. There you go. Thanks for looking that up, Lounge. Beatty almost got that grand slam earlier today, too. All right. Escara's coming up for the Yankees. Here, the Mets just had a meeting of the minds at the mound, trying to calm down Reed Garrett. No damage done yet, but it's not a comfortable situation. Torrens just saved Reed Garrett from a wild pitch. His sac fly. What was Beatty's? Can you find? Was there any stadium where Beatty's fly out would have been a home run? I forget what inning that was. Another good block by Torrens, and once again, Reed Garrett's behind 2-0. Just so frustrating. No one is up in the Mets bullpen. They're going to call down now, but that's low. 3-0. I just don't understand why. We just have so many guys who you can't trust in high leverage situations in this bullpen. There's the 3-0 pitch. That's ball 4. 4-pitch walk. The bases are loaded. Oh, and then DJ LeMahieu, who has the home run for the Yankees, is now coming up. Newly acquired pitcher Jose Castillo is now warming up in the bullpen. Mets just traded for him the other day. May not matter because if Reed Garrett can't get LeMahieu out, the damage is already going to be done at this point. I'm assuming LeMahieu is going to be looking for something to drive on the first pitch like Beatty did earlier. He rips it. Oh, but right at Soto. Reed Garrett threw a fastball. Fortunately, it's hit right to Soto. That was a ugly inning. We got out without giving up a run, but man, that's ugly. I'm assuming Jose Castillo might still come in for the 9th if the Mets don't take the lead here. Going to the top of the 9th, due up. Now, Mets do have some bench players they can use, especially you could sub in, Acuna for Beatty if you wanted that, depending on. But McNeil, Torrens, and Beatty are due up. It also is going to depend. Are they going to bring in a lefty here to face McNeil and Beatty? If that's the case, then you could bring in Acuna for McNeil. I don't know what the Yankees are going to do. So whatever the Mets do will be in response to whatever the Yankees do here. Gotcha. Oh, I mean, it was a good swing. So he's 0 out of 30 ballpark. I mean, it was close. So that means the Yankee ballpark must be, because I mean that was deep and it looked like he got it good too. And Judge got turned around on that play. All right, Devin Williams is coming in. All right, sounds good. I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, they're not showing that on game day yet. So Devin Williams getting back-to-back appearances. So he's a righty. So I'm assuming you're going to leave. Well, they're showing Cruz. Yep, Cruz is still pitching here. One and 0 to Jeff McNeil. McNeil rips that one, but it's going to be foul. That's a good swing. Yeah, you are correct, Aaron. Mets are trying to avoid their first 3-game losing streak of the year. McNeil's torpedo bat was just cracked on that. Edwin Diaz is warming up as well. I don't know if he's going to pitch no matter what. We'll see. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jeff McNeil. Well, that's low. 2 balls, 1 strike. McNeil's got I like his approach this at bat. All right. Do you bring Alvarez in for Torrens to pinch hit? McNeil flies it out, but Bellinger's going to get there. All right, rally pig for Brett Beatty. It's going to be 1 out. That was not actually a bad job by McNeil there. That ball could have fallen in on a lot of center fielders, but Bellinger got a good break on it. All right, Torrens is going to hit for himself. He does have a hit today, so I mean, once again, the Mets are up here with 5 hits. 1 ball, no strikes to Torrens. So it's like, gotcha. So they got Acuna. Acuna set to pinch run if Torrens gets on. So that's okay. And then you can bring in Alvarez to catch for him after that. I wonder if at this point they still have Beatty on deck to hit for himself. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Torrens. That's a ball. Whoa! Apparently that's a strike. That ball was way low. Yeah, that's a horrible call. Mendoza's not happy with it. That's inside 3-1. That should be ball 4. It's 3-1. The Mets can do a lot of things too here, depending on what you want to do. But I mean, that's high. That's going to be a walk for Torrens. That should get Acuna as the base runner. So this is one of the nice things. There's a lot of times, obviously, you want Acuna's in the lineup, but this is one of the nice things on the days where he's out, is now you can put him in wherever you want. All right, Rally Pig time. We need some magic. Let's see what we got here. So Acuna is going to pinch run. I'd like to see, I mean, I know Beatty wants to do damage here. I'd also like to see him try to take a pitch or two, give Acuna a chance to steal. Oh, we might need the man-bear-pig combo. We're going to do it. Let's do it. The man-bear-pig. There's the throw over to first. There we go. Trying to figure out how to. They already threw over the first time here. Whoa, that's a ball. Oh, my goodness. He's just started calling the low strike. I don't understand. Yeah. Well, the other thing is, I've noticed this with Beatty maybe more than a lot of other guys. Beatty gets a lot of bad pitches called, like pitches that are strikes, called against him. All right, here we go. We got the man-bear-pig out. Beatty fouls that one away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Acuna is still yet to make a move to try to steal, which is obviously part of the reason why he's in there. Not just his speed, but also his base stealing ability. Ground ball to the right side. Not make the play. Everybody's going to be safe. LeMahieu made a great diving stop. I don't know what's making that sound. Sorry, hold on. That was weird. I have no idea what is making that sound. All right. Well, here we go. Hopefully that, I don't know what was beeping there. Couldn't figure that out. 1 out. 2-2 game. Mets have runners on first and second. Tyrone Taylor is up. Right. I have no idea. I have no idea what was doing that. Yeah, the umpire is a rookie. I think I heard that it's like his first game behind the plate. He was the one calling swing the strike last night too. Gotta be some pressure on him too. Rally Pig cheering, let's go Mets. Up is your TV. Yeah. All right, here we go. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tyrone Taylor. Of course, you got Lindor, Soto, Alonso. The next 3 due up. Did that hit him? It also hit the catcher. The bases are going to be loaded for Francisco Lindor. That was a crazy play. It hit. It hit Tyrone Taylor, and then it deflected. And then where did it get the catcher? Got Tyrone on the back elbow. Oh, and then it got the catcher the same way. It got him the same way that Torrens got him the other day, guys. Oh. So we got bases loaded, just to reset the situation here. Yep. Just like Torrens. Boone thought that Taylor swung. They haven't showed a side angle on that yet. All right, so bases loaded, one out, Lindor at the plate. Lindor is hitting .342 in his career with bases loaded and 7 grand slams. And of course, Lindor has been known for some home run fireworks against the Yankees. First pitch is the ball. It's 1-0 to Lindor. The Mets are trying to figure out how to put a big inning together. It's been 84 years. Yeah, take a sac fly. This feels like a double. This feels like a Lindor double. That's what I'm going with. 2-0 to Lindor. And at this point, I'll take a walk too, right? We'll take whatever we can get. 2-0 pitch to Lindor. Takes a low, 3-0. Now that pitch was significantly higher than some of the other ones. Surprise suicide squeeze. I don't think you're going to risk that with Soto on deck. So it's 3-0. Is it a take or does he have a green light? I think you got to take. He does take. 3-1. You got to try to get the free run if they're going to give it to you here. All right, 3 balls, 1 strike. Lindor flies it. It's pretty short. Acuna tags. He's going. He's in there. Easily. The Mets take the lead. Wow. Man, it felt like that was going to be close, and then you realize it's Acuna. I mean, he beat that pretty easily. Well, we got the sack fly. We'll take it. We got to take what we can get right now. It is. Well, and like I said, I love having Acuna in the starting lineup, but the one benefit when he does sit is you can pick your spot where you pinch run him, and the Mets did. Lined right up the middle, but right to where they were playing him. That's going to retire. Oh, the Mets took the lead, so now. Yeah, sorry, Lewis. No, come on, Soto. Now it's 100% on Mr. Timmy Trumpet. But the Man Bear Pig comes through. So I guess that's 1 for 1. We got the Man Bear Pig. This is 1 for 1 with a run. Take what we can get. It's hard. It's hard cheering for this offense right now, but grinding out what we can. All right, here we go. Timmy Trumpet's time. Here we go. Yes, please. Can we get good Diaz, not wild Diaz? Will the real Edwin Diaz please stand up? Going to the bottom of the 9th. You want to see 100? I want to see first pitch strikes from Diaz. That's what I want to see because Diaz's strikeout pitches play off of him being ahead in the count. I don't want to see a Reed Garrett type of approach here. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. I'll be here all week. I'll be here all week with the Trumpets. So Edwin Diaz is officially in the game. Austin Wells is going to come in as a pinch hitter. All right, going to the bottom of the ninth. The Mets have a 3-2 lead. If you haven't yet done so, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. I appreciate you guys being here. Also, if you want to financially support this channel, it's much appreciated with doing that. Here's the link to the Patreon, since we don't have memberships on YouTube quite yet. We're still working to get those unlocked, but you can hop over to the Patreon, get early access to some of the videos that we do. As always, a special thank you to our current patrons who are supporting this channel. My friend Ahmed and Darren Rivera. So you can hop over there, get your name shouted out on these broadcasts, because we appreciate you so much, as well as get early access to some of the videos. The next video that'll be coming out will be tomorrow night, late night, after the Mets game. First pitch is a swing and a miss here by Edwin Diaz. So you'll get early access to the brand new power rankings. The Mets are going to be battling to stay in the top 3. Depends a lot on what they do today and tomorrow. But you'll get early access. You get it a day before everybody else gets it. That's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So again, if you want to help support this channel financially, do that via the Patreon. If not, that's perfectly fine as well. I know everybody's in different financial situations, but if you are able, always much appreciated. 1-1 pitch, fouled, swings at the slider, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a good pitch, a good pitch to give him a swing at. Aaron Judge is coming up this inning, just so you guys know. No matter what, he's due up third. So you get Wells, Rice, and Judge. That's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Edwin Diaz needs to be on fire. You better believe it. We need good Edwin Diaz today. I am reserving the rock solid relief performance for now. We're waiting and seeing. That's low. He holds off on the slider there, 3-2. Now you just got to go fastball. You got to challenge him. An Acuna type. Well, so the Yankees have blown through pretty much their whole bench. They have 1 guy left. Foul tip held by Alvarez. So remember, Alvarez came in the game because Luis Angel Acuna pinch ran for Torrens. Acuna is playing second now, so you do have your optimum defensive alignment here. So there's 1 out. So the only guy that the Yankees have on their bench is Pablo Reyes. He's a second baseman, 31 years old. He has 1 stolen base on the season. I don't know too much about him otherwise. So, first pitch, or second pitch, foul tip, strike 2 to Ben Rice. Yeah, so here's the thing, though. As long as you just don't let anybody on, you're good. Here's so it's 0-2. No walks. You're right, Justin. I love Edwin Diaz. I love Edwin Diaz when he's pitching well. Judge probably. There's a lot of people who could steal on Edwin Diaz. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's inside. Wright should have let that hit him. He could have let that hit him and got it on base for Judge. Mets are up 3-2. Top of the 9th. Little looper. Beatty makes another play. Man, Beatty's had a great day at third base. There's a jam shot. Here you go. This is what you gotta like if you're a baseball fan. This is fun, guys. No, you go after Judge here. 100% you go. I mean, I'm not saying you give him a meatball, but you're not walking Judge to put the you don't walk Judge to put the winning run on. First pitch is a strike. No, because in another circumstance, if the Mets were up by, say, 3, maybe you consider it. But a 1-run game, no way you walk him to you go after him. Judge pops it up. It's going to be foul, out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. I don't know if you guys can disagree if you want, but in a 1-run game with nobody on and 2 outs, and Diaz is on fire right now, no, you go after him. Going outside looks like, ooh, He held. That was a good pitch by Diaz. It was a good no swing by Judge. This is if you love baseball, you should love a matchup like this, guys. Ninth inning, 2 outs. Edwin Diaz is going to go with that outside pitch again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is the battle. This is what you got to be amped up with. A top closer. I know Diaz has had his struggles this year against the best hitter in baseball, I think, right now. You could argue Ohtani, but I think everything says that every metric would tell me that Judge is the best hitter in baseball. This is what you want to see. I want to see the fastball here. Foul back. Oh, this is a battle, guys. This is good stuff. If I wasn't a Mets fan, I'd really, really be enjoying this. But even as it is, what do you do here? Judge can hit anything. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's in the dirt. It's going to be 3-2. Go for it. Like at this point, you go for it. If he hits a home run, you just got to move on to the next one. I want to challenge him here, right? You got to go after him. The last thing you want to do is bring up these other guys who've been hurting the Mets just as much. Diaz shook him off. I don't know what it was. All right, here we go. Diaz has his pitch. There's a 3-2 pitch. He struck him out! 99-mile-an-hour strikeout, and somehow the Mets won this ball game. Hit those likes. Hit those subscribes. Sign up for the Patreon. Come on, everybody. Wow, what a game. That was not fun, but the ending is fun. But it was just, that's what you want to see. You want to see your closer. Yeah, you got 99. That works. Appreciate you guys. We will come to you tomorrow, but it might be a little bit different. I got to go to my in-laws' house. They're not there right now, but I got to go to my in-laws' house if I can make that work to do the ESPN2 broadcast or ESPN broadcast of Sunday Night Baseball. But the plan is to be live for that tomorrow night. Well, gutsy victory for the Mets. Not pretty, but a win is a win. So Mets scored 2 runs playing small ball on the sacrifice fly. So appreciate all of you guys. As always, tomorrow is going to be a test. Max Fried is probably the best pitcher in the American League, maybe in baseball right now. These Mets bats have struggled hard against top-tier pitching. So we'll see what it is. Lots of good work, some mistakes today, but good thing. Yes, congrats. At least we're not right. Can't get swept by the Yankees here. And we're going to go for the series victory tomorrow with that. So congrats. Thank you all. Lounge, Darren, Jonathan, Anthony. So many guys. I won't be able to remember your D-Rels. So many. So the ups, the downs, everything. We made it through. We got the win that we needed. They're showing the replay here. Hold on. I'm going to show this to you guys here. I'm going to show you if you didn't get to see it, they're showing a slow-mo side replay. All right, just so you guys can see it. Hold on 1 second. You guys got to see this. Here is the here's the slow-mo replay of the strikeout.
That's even up the series as Diaz strikes out Judge to end it.
Yep, got it just high enough.
The Bronx in just a moment.
So there it is. Big win for the Mets. Appreciate all you guys. I got to go have some supper and get to work, do some food deliveries and stuff. There's a chance we'll be on late night tonight. Always a chance that we'll do that. Power Rankings will be coming out tomorrow. We're going to also try to do Mets live stream tomorrow night, but it'll be from a different location, so I might not have all my usual stuff. But anyway, that's what we've got going. As always, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we will see you hopefully tomorrow night. And let's go Mets, baby. Have a great night.